What if I told you that your house is not an asset? What if the single biggest thing holding you back financially is the advice you've followed your whole life? Go to a good school, get a safe job, and climb the corporate ladder. This isn't just a controversial opinion. It's the brutal truth that separates the financially free from the perpetually struggling in America. It's the invisible script that most of us live by. A script that promises stability, but delivers a lifetime membership to what Robert Kiyosaki, in his groundbreaking book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, calls the rat race. It's the hamster wheel of getting up, going to work, paying bills, and having just enough to do it all over again, month after month, year after year, all while chasing a version of the American dream that keeps you indebted and exhausted. Today, we're going to tear that script apart. If you find value in summaries like this, make sure to like, subscribe to Audiobook Bites, and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. Now let's dive in. The entire foundation of Kiyosaki's philosophy comes from the lessons he learned from his two fathers. His real father, his poor dad, was a highly educated man, the head of the Hawaiian school system. He was brilliant, hard-working, and believed in the traditional path: get a great education and find a secure, high-paying job. Yet, he struggled with money his entire life. His rich dad was his best friend's father, a man who never finished the 8th grade but became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. He didn't believe in working for a paycheck. He believed in making money work for him. This brings us to the first, most powerful lesson. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Think about what that really means. The poor dad mindset, the one drilled into 99% of Americans, is to trade your time for money. You become a cog in a machine. The better your education and skills, the more you can charge for your time, but you are still fundamentally limited by the number of hours in a day. You're on a treadmill, and your only goal is to run faster. Picture a highly paid surgeon in Los Angeles. She pulls in $500,000 a year. On the surface, she is the pinnacle of American success. But look closer. She's shackled by $1 million in student loan debt from medical school. She has a massive mortgage on a beautiful house in a gated community that costs a fortune to maintain. Her luxury car has a steep monthly payment. After paying some of the highest income taxes in the country, her $500,000 salary shrinks dramatically. She is trapped by her high-end lifestyle. If she stops working, if she gets sick or burned out, that entire glittering empire of income collapses. She isn't wealthy. She's just living in a faster, more luxurious rat race. Now, let's look at the rich dad path. This mindset isn't about how high your salary is, but about how much of your income is generated without you actively trading your time. It's about building or buying assets that work for you. Imagine an entrepreneur who, years ago, bought a piece of land and built a chain of automated car washes across Arizona. After the initial work of setting them up, these businesses generate cash flow 24/7. They make money when he's sleeping, when he's on vacation in Hawaii, when he's spending time with his family. The system is working for him. Or think about a savvy investor who has spent years accumulating a portfolio of blue-chip dividend stocks, companies like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, or Procter & Gamble. Every 3 months, like clockwork, cash from the profits of those global companies is deposited directly into his brokerage account. That is money working for him. The goal isn't a bigger paycheck. It's a bigger stream of passive income from assets. This leads directly to the second core lesson, which is the very definition of financial literacy. You absolutely must know the difference between an asset and a liability. The way Kiyosaki defines this is so simple it's revolutionary. and it cuts through all the confusing jargon from Wall Street. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. The reason the middle class struggles is because they spend their lives buying liabilities that they think are assets. And the number one offender is the cornerstone of the American dream, your house. This is a tough pill for many to swallow. We're taught from a young age that buying a home is the best investment you can ever make. But let's analyze it with Kiyosaki's brutal logic. Does your primary residence, the house you live in, put money in your pocket each month? Number. It does the exact opposite. It takes money out of your pocket every single month, relentlessly. You have the mortgage payment to the bank. You have property taxes, which in states like New Jersey, Illinois, or Texas can be crushingly high. You have homeowners insurance. You have maintenance, the water heater that breaks, the roof that leaks, the lawn that needs care. It is a constant cash drain, not a cash fountain. It only becomes an asset on the day you sell it for a profit. But until that day, it functions as a massive liability, tying up your capital and bleeding you dry. The rich, on the other hand, see property differently. They might buy a duplex in a growing city like Austin, Texas. They live in one unit and rent out the other. If the rent from the tenant covers the entire mortgage, taxes, and insurance, their housing is now effectively free. Better yet, if there's cash left over, that property has been transformed from a liability into an asset that puts money in their pocket every month. That is the fundamental shift. The wealthy acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities. So, you understand you need to buy assets. But it's not just about what you buy. It's about how you're legally structured to buy and hold them. This brings us to the third lesson. Mind your own business. The rich have understood for centuries one of the biggest secrets to wealth generation: the power of corporations and the tax code. The tax system in the United States is not designed to be fair. It's designed to incentivize certain economic behaviors, primarily business creation and investing. The average American is playing a completely different game than the wealthy. Let's compare two people. First, a software engineer at Google in Silicon Valley. She's a W-2 employee. She earns her high six-figure salary, and the first entity to get paid is the government. The IRS and the state of California take their cut directly from her paycheck through tax withholding before she even sees a dime. Her financial life follows this sequence: earn, pay tax, spend what is left. She tries to budget and save from her post-tax income. Now, consider the owner of a small marketing agency who has structured her business as an LLC or an S-corp in a tax-friendly state like Nevada or Florida. Her financial life follows a completely different and far more powerful sequence: earn, spend, pay, tax. Her company earns the revenue first. Then, the company is legally allowed to spend money on all legitimate business expenses. This could be new computers, office rent, software subscriptions, travel to a business conference in Las Vegas, even a portion of her car and cell phone bills. The company spends on everything it needs to operate and grow before taxes are calculated. Then, she pays corporate and personal taxes on what's left over, the profit. It's a massive advantage, and it is 100% legal. It's the game the government wants business owners to play. Minding your own business means building a fortress around your assets using these legal structures, playing the game of taxes by the rules written for the rich. Once you have this structure, you can move to the fourth lesson, which is where true wealth is created. The rich invent money. This isn't about counterfeiting. It's about developing your financial intelligence to the point where you can see and create opportunities that others miss. While most people believe you need money to make money, the rich understand that you need creativity and financial knowledge to invent money. Financial IQ is the ability to structure a deal, to solve a problem, to connect different parts of the financial world, like investors, ideas, and talent, to create value from what appears to be nothing. Think of it like this. A person with a poor dad mentality drives through a rundown industrial district in a city like Detroit or Cleveland and sees only urban decay, abandoned factories, and risk. A person with a rich dad mentality, a high financial IQ, drives through that same neighborhood and sees an opportunity. They see the beautiful brickwork on those old warehouses and envision them as trendy, high-ceilinged loft apartments for young professionals. They see the proximity to a revitalizing downtown core and imagine a future of coffee shops, boutiques, and art galleries. They don't need millions of their own dollars to make it happen. They use their financial knowledge to create a compelling business plan, raise capital from private investors, using what's called OPM, or other people's money, and secure a bank loan based on the project's future value. They orchestrate a deal that transforms a dilapidated area into a thriving community, creating millions of dollars in equity for themselves in the process. They literally invented money from a smart idea, a well-structured deal, and the guts to solve a big problem. This is the mindset you see every week on the show Shark Tank. Entrepreneurs walk in with nothing but an idea and a business plan, and they try to convince the sharks to give them capital in exchange for equity, effectively inventing a multi-million-dollar company valuation out of thin air. So how do you develop this level of financial intelligence? This leads to the fifth and final lesson. Work to learn, don't work for money. Especially in the early stages of your career, you should prioritize the skills you acquire over the salary you earn. A high-paying job can be a trap, making you comfortable and dependent. A job that teaches you the master skills of wealth creation is the real asset. The most important skills, according to Kiyosaki, are sales, marketing, communication, accounting, and leadership. Imagine a bright college graduate with a marketing degree. She gets 2 job offers. Offer 1 is a safe, stable, and well-paying corporate marketing position at a Fortune 500 company in Chicago. It comes with a great 401k and health benefits. Offer 2 is a lower-paying, commission-based sales job at a fast-growing tech startup. There's more risk and less security. The poor dad advice is unanimous. Take the safe corporate job. But the rich dad advice is to take the sales job without hesitation. Why? Because in the corporate job, she will learn to be a good employee, a specialist in one small area. In the sales job, she will be on the front lines. She will learn how to sell a product, how to handle constant rejection, how to understand customer needs, how to negotiate, and how to communicate value clearly and persuasively. These are the foundational skills of business and investing. Learning to sell is learning the lifeblood of commerce. The person who knows how to sell can build their own business, raise capital from investors, and lead a team. One job path teaches you how to climb a ladder that someone else owns. The other path teaches you how to build your own ladder. Robert Kiyosaki's message in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a powerful wake-up call to every American stuck on the financial treadmill. The system isn't designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to make you a compliant and efficient worker. Breaking free isn't about asking for a raise or cutting coupons. It's about a fundamental revolution in your financial education. It begins with questioning the advice you've taken for granted your entire life. So, start today. Start that education. Before your next major purchase, a new car, the latest smartphone, even a vacation, Stop and ask yourself that one simple, powerful question. Is this an asset that will put money in my pocket, or a liability that will take money out? The American dream shouldn't be a life sentence of debt and hard labor in a job you dislike. It should be about freedom, financial freedom, the freedom to choose how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and what you dedicate your life to. That is the real wealth. Now go out and start building yours.